got my own money. I got my own. I got my own money. So you got my nails done, okay. So you got my hair did, okay. Say I ain't acting right, okay. See, baby, you don't own me. Flashing your new whip, okay. Booking expensive trips.
Hello, social media. Hello to all of you. Hi, you guys. Welcome to Lakita T. Sharp's famous exclusive inspirational channel. Welcome to one of the greatest shows in the universe. So I welcome you. Hello to all of you. I'm so happy that you guys are here. So you guys, welcome. Okay, it is 10:56 and about time I do this video. Wrapping it up is going to be about 11:11. Okay, so that's confirmation for this message. And it is March 19th and the year 2026, and it is Thursday. Check out all of my books over at Amazon.com. There are over 100 books for you to choose from over in my name at Amazon.com. So check out my books over at Amazon.com. And if you want to sow your seeds, pay your tithes and offering, feel free to donate to the ministry and help me out at the channel. And also, thanks for adding your email to my website and receiving the latest blogs and emails. So you guys, I am so happy to be here on today and talking to you. This is my memoir, Unstoppable. So check it out over at Amazon.com. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing cooking. If things aren't going the way that you want in your life, be grateful. If things aren't the way you want, be grateful. Okay? Things could be a lot worse with what you're going through. I remember working at a retail job, and I was just, before God promoted me to my company or whatever like that. And you can read my book, Unstoppable, sold at Amazon.com. But I remember working this one retail job, and I'm like, I almost hated the job. Hated being there. Complained all the time. Complain. So then it was so bad that I didn't like it that I decided to change my mindset. I decided to start putting inspirational sayings in my locker. So when I show up at the job and open up my locker, I will see inspirational quotes or whatever. I decided to make my situation work for me. And then I started to change my mindset around and started acting as if I am already the founder and CEO of the company. Okay, so I began to start changing the way I dress and the way I carried myself, and I walked in that job confident. And then I was like, you know what? I don't like it. So what am I doing about it? So I decided to look for other jobs. So I was actively looking for other jobs as I was at a job that I didn't like. And the Lord blessed me, and I got into a school, a Christian school, and and blessed me, So I am here to say to you that I was delivered from that job. I was delivered from that job. Thank God. Glory be to God. And see, I began to change my mindset around and begin to be more grateful. There's things around you that you might not like. You might not like certain things that happen at your home. You may not like, but you have a home. You may not have all the money in the world yet, but you have something that you are working with, that you can manage and that you can grow and that you can use wisely and work with. You may not be able to take the lavish vacations right now. You may not be able to get the car you want right now, but you are working with something. You have something that you're driving. You have something that you are able to, transport from one place to another. You may have things going on, with your sister or your dad or your mom, and, you're having problems in the relationship, or it's just, the relationship maybe reap of jealousy, or reap of envy, or reap of, just not so good things. But you have a sister, but you have a father, but you have a mother, and they are there if you need them, so you got to just kind of focus on the good and just be grateful for what is in front of you. It's always something that you can be grateful for. It's always something that you can find to be on the happy side, and I can say to this, I remember that, I said, when I was struggling really bad, and I used to refund and, file disputes. I used to just return things and do things. And I'm like, I did it so much. I'm like, oh my God, am I going to go to jail for it? So one day I received, something in the mail or whatever from law enforcement. And here I am. I was like, oh my God, they're going to send me to jail. Oh my God, oh my God. And then comes to find out it was just a ticket or whatever like that. I said, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. I was so excited. I'm like, I don't have to go to jail or anything. So, I am always like, it could have been worse. Anything, right? And I was just so grateful for my ticket, so grateful. And, I was just so excited about it, so excited about the bill. I'd rather pay bills than to be in anybody's jail cell, I tell you that. But, the struggle was real, man. The struggle was real. And, I managed to survive and, and get through, experience a lot of, hard times and stuff like that. But I had to find ways to be grateful. You get what I mean? And I had to find creative ways to make money and to earn money and to use my money wisely and to do things, very wisely while God was making a way for me, while I was coming out and God making a way for me. So I'm here to say to you that you just have to be grateful for what you have in front of you right now. You may be tired of your husband. You may be tired of your wife. But you have a wife. You have a husband, and many people are praying to the Lord to send them what you have, and, so you may be tired of your kids, they get on your nerves, right? But there's somebody who's praying for that baby, praying their heart out for that child. So it's always something to be grateful for, and, to look around you and to be happy about your life, And yes, you may be you may be dealing with so many challenging times, going through sickness, you're going through things in your body, but guess what? You're still alive. You're still here. You're able to watch this video. You're able to hear the video. You're able to see the video. You're able to experience this moment. And I hope in this moment you are grateful for this moment and you are enjoying my gifts and enjoying my talent, as I am enjoying you on the other side of that screen and listening to me. So it's a lot that we can be grateful for. A lot that we can be grateful for, even when it's not the way that we want it quite yet. You may not have a lot of food, but you have something. You may not have you may not have so much, but you have something that you are working with. So many people complain and complain and complain. If you are a complainer, if you turn your complaining to gratitude mindset, finding something to be grateful for every single day, getting a gratitude journal and writing that gratitude journal, and really just doing that. Writing something that you're grateful for every day. You will be amazed if you turn your struggling, your complaining mindset into a grateful mindset. Now let's look at what a complainer does. They walk into a store, they immediately start complaining about everything. They're having a dinner, they're complaining about the dinner. They're getting their hair done, they're complaining about their hair, complaining about their nails, complaining about society, complaining. And then you have someone who is grateful, who walks in the store and admires the store, and they're like, wow, I'm so happy to be here. I am so grateful for this store being here. Oh my God, I'm so happy about my hair. I'm so happy about my nails. Oh, they did a great job. They could have done it better, but I am so grateful to have them. I am so grateful to have the food that I'm eating tonight. I am so grateful that God took his time out to think about me and to write and create me. I am so grateful. You see, when you're grateful, you become more happier. You may feel like, why I'm not happy? Maybe because you complain a lot. And when you complain, you find more things to complain about. I remember living in my luxury apartment, and I was on the 3rd floor. And I had to walk with my high heel stilettos going to the clubhouse every day to work and to climb up and down 3 flights of stairs that I hated. Absolutely, yes. Yes, my husband wanted the 3rd floor. He just loved the 3rd floor. But I wanted the 1st level, and we are separated. And thank God I am on the 1st level in the apartment, and I love it completely. Hello to my husband, my ex-husband, but hello to you if you are watching. Thank you for taking care of me when you did, so no hard feelings. But anyway, yes, he wanted that 3rd floor, and I'm like, oh my God, I gotta take my suitcase and I gotta go up and down the steps. So it was a lot of things to complain about. I could complain about. I had a fancy doorknob, and I had to figure out how to work my doorknob because it was such a luxury doorknob. And now I'm in a plain, just regular older building, and it's just a regular key, and I'm like, oh, thank God. Me and fancy doesn't work. I am not a fancy fan. I'm fancy, but I like simplicity. A simple life is a good life for me. So that's the life that I am creating for myself. A simplistic life, and yeah, so you just have to find to be more grateful, so things might not be the way that you want. Things might not be going in the way you want to go as of yet, but not saying that they're not going to turn around for you. But remember, faith without works is dead. So you got to do something to get the ball moving. You got to move in order for God to work. Faith without works is dead. You got to do the work. Had I not written this book and did the work, God wouldn't have been able to make me a best-selling author. God wouldn't have been able to make me a success if I haven't done the work that I need to do. So check out my books over at Amazon.com. There are over 100 books for you to choose from over in my name at Amazon.com. I hope you guys are enjoying. How is your day going? Well, I can't wait to eat. My family member made some dinner, and I can't wait to eat this dinner and everything like that. So I hope you enjoyed your dinner, and I can't wait to, get me a cup of tea, relax in my bed, read a devotional, or read a story. Excuse me. So you guys be more grateful. You guys, change your mindset. do so, do so, do so. I love you guys. We are the chosen ones. I hope you enjoyed the show. I will see you in the next video. Bye.